welcome back to BTF and Dubs. Gozzy, how we doing?
Yo, what's up? Rone, the Rone man. What's cracking, dude?
Not much. In a new location for the first time ever. It matches my shirt.
I
Matches
know
my
it's a
shirt a
bit.
little bit, actually.
I said to you before we even went. I was like, it's thrown me because I'm consistently in different places based on what I'm doing, like looking after pets and all that crap. And
Yeah, you're
you
quite
know,
the nomad when it comes
I
to
said
locations.
it's from August. I'm gonna have one location. Like from the middle of August, I'm gonna have one location. So we'll be good. I'll find a way to make things work there. But it's
Fantastic. Well, yeah, it'll be nice to have a solid background for once.
consistency. Consistency.
Unless you decide to start traveling to Spain to like house sit and stuff, then that'd be cool. Have those backgrounds.
You be coming with me? Don't worry.
Oh, for sure. For
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of traveling, let's get into some WWE stuff because they traveled back to the Mecca this last weekend. That being New York City, Madison Square Garden for Saturday
Yeah.
night's main event.
You know what? I like that they keep doing them at Madison Square Garden because I think it's the heritage and everything.
Oh well,
But it is a bit.
this was only the second time Michael Cole said that they've done it.
Oh yeah,
Saturday
no,
night's
because
main
they did.
event.
Oh yeah, because they did the Cena one at DC, and sure they've done more, but either way, I could be wrong, but whatever. I liked it, but I know what. But again, I think all became clear as to why it was really set there, with the final segment of the show.
Jesus.
Now, I'm going to start this off by saying I thought up to that point, the show had like a dub for me. It didn't have double dubs, but it had a dub. Like I really
you can't
enjoyed
go
it.
like this and say it wasn't a double dubs up.
It was a dub. It was a dub. But it was, you know what? It was good. I'm really annoyed. It could have had double dubs up, but what really annoyed me was the ending of that final match and the whole segment
After.
It really ruined it for me. Like I wouldn't say ruined, but it was so unnecessary. I don't think there was any need to it. It for me didn't enhance the Seth Roman rivalry. It did nothing for it.
No.
It was a way to glaze the fans of New York that the Knicks had finally won after 50 odd years.
Which I'd like just to point out, like, good for the Knicks, cool.
Oh god, yeah, great for the Knicks.
Well done, Knicks. I mean,
I'm a Celtics fan, so it's annoying, but
that goes to what the points I was just about to make. Like, good for you, Knicks, but now while you're glazing the Knicks for almost 30 minutes at the end of your show.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch basketball. I watch NFL and ice hockey. Those are the two American sports I watch, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really care either way.
Completely different to me.
Right? No, of course, yeah, 100%. But I know for a fact, like, if this was like, I don't know, if the Ravens were in the Super Bowl and then they came out and glazed, like, I don't know, the Steelers who had just won it, like they'd ever won that. But you know what I mean? Like for me, as the Ravens guy, I'd be like, well, this is stupid. This is done. But like now, you've got this whole 30-minute segment where they glaze in the Knicks in New York. Cool. It's good for the in-house crowd who are like 95% from New York. But for the rest of us watching, we're like, what the fuck are we doing?
You know what? Again, they also then tried to drive up the Eastern rivalry by bringing out Tyrese Halliburton, who plays for the Pacers. So it's Eastern Conference rivalries. Okay,
Cool.
So it's not even like in-division rivalries; it's Eastern Conference rivalry. So it's basically, it's very weird because it's literally like, obviously, you know the way that the Americans set up their thing. They got like a divisional rivalry, and then they've got like a conference
they're North, South, and East and West, and then conferences, and then this bowl, and the Rose Bowl, and the Cypress Bowl, and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what it is for like this. Yeah, it's all for that. It's like this. It's like you get the divisional champions, and then.
I mean, we digress yet. It's beyond, but it's done. My point is, it's really stupid that you would glaze up one specific team in one venue for that long. Do it for 10 minutes, sure.
Also, my problem is I get it. Also, in the sense of in sports, you have an MVP, but that's not the only person who wins you a match or a game or whatever phrase term you want to use for a sports event. They're not the only person. I get it. He was the MVP. Jalen Brunson is a great basketball player, and it's a good redemption arc because he was thrown away and then he found a home in New York and he is one of their own now.
Sure.
But at the same time, what's the point? You're doing it for the views, the pops, whatever. But again, like you've said, you're doing it for a specific crowd. People from Boston, people from Indiana, people from Philly, people from even people from California. They're just going to be like, no one gives a shit. They would have turned off after that last half bit. They literally for that last half an hour, they would have turned off. So you would have lost everything. You just had everyone from New York following you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's my whole point. Like, I don't understand. Like, you can do it, especially because you're in New York. But then do it at either the start of the show, but even if it's not at the start, and you want to specifically do it at the end because you want the cross sports entertainment, and sports entertainment, actual sports like segments of it, and you want to get those people who only watch like basketball to start watching more wrestling. Cool.
Yeah.
But then either way, start or finish, it can't be that long. This is a 10-minute thin max, and that includes Roman Reigns taking 50,000 years to get to the ring. Again.
It's just his thing, though, isn't it?
It's still gay and annoying.
And what actually annoyed me the most is you've got Roman Reigns, a guy who was, I don't even know if he was born in New York. I think he was born and raised in Florida, right?
That's how they announce it when he comes to the ring, yeah.
He comes from Pensacola, Florida, right? That's where they bill him from. But he's glazing Jalen Brunson and the Knicks like he's a massive Knicks fan. I've never seen anything like it. If you would have had, we'll touch on it when it comes to that match, but you would have had better work with Danhausen because of the whole shtick that he did with cursing them, uncursing them, whatever. Yeah. He would have been better to do it. But Roman Reigns coming out and then, saying, oh, greatness recognizes greatness. Cool. But he is the greatest, and that's it. That's what it's supposed to be. He's not supposed to show anything of that kind of level, right? I know it's not the same because it's two different types of sports entertainments. But at the same time, if he is the greatest and people are supposed to acknowledge him, doesn't matter what else you do, acknowledge him.
It undercuts it, right?
Exactly. It makes
because essentially what they're saying, for sure. Essentially what they're saying is that one NBA championship is the exact same as Roman Reigns' whole career to get to being the OTC.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. How about you take what we love and shove it right down the throat?
Why did you do it for Oklahoma last year?
Or any team. Why are we doing it just specifically for this?
When teams win, they send a belt saying congratulations, so and so champions. They've done it for Premier League. They do it for all the teams. But they've never glazed any team or any person or any situation like this.
What you could do is say to him, like, listen, Jalen, this is what we want to do. But then what we need you to, even if he lies, I don't care if he actually watches wrestling. He doesn't have to. No one has to watch wrestling, right? No one has to watch NBA if they don't want to. But say to him, we've been at Madison Square Garden. This has been our home, our mecca for the past 60 years. When we come out, cut a 2-minute promo just saying how much you watch wrestling in this building and why you want to be in this building. So at least you give us some reason as to why Roman's also hyping him up a little bit more and like just leaning it a bit more wrestling orientated, or sports entertainment orientated. If you want to can go that route, cool. It's just overall, before we end up bitching about this for the next hour and a half, because I can see us doing that. Do that. It was too long. It didn't make a lot of sense. It shat on wrestling as far as I'm concerned.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I hated it. I enjoyed the show up until this, like literal the end of the match and this point.
Yeah, I gave the entire show mid because I didn't enjoy it, and there's a specific few reasons for it, which we'll obviously chat about. This took it from a mid to a dubs down. Not a double dubs down because there were a couple of really good matches I enjoyed on this thing, which is why it was mid and not terrible.
That's cool. I'm erasing this. I'm actually giving it a dub. I really enjoyed all the matches. Like I say, I actually did totally, apart from the ending of the main event. But again, this was just so unnecessary. It did nothing for the Seth Roman rivalry either. Just because you brought out an Eastern Division rival to support.
I would disagree with that. It did. It made Seth look like an absolute bitch. That's what it did.
I mean,
no, sneaky heel gets the jump and then gets beaten down after the sneaky jump. I know that happens a lot, but you had him on the ground and then Jalen Brunson stands in front of him like after he didn't know what to do. It was also incredibly awkward, which also, again, you're Seth Rollins. You just came down with this I forget his name from the East Coast. You just said it from
Or
Pacers.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton, right? So you don't have Tyrese Halliburton like fucking square up to this dude. No. So Jalen takes 9,000 years while Seth is lining up to stomp on a chair to actually do it because he's waiting for Jalen to step in front. And this dude's like, is that my cue? What do I do? Right? And so, again, you're making Seth look really dumb by not just cleaning Roman out or taking out Jalen. He would have gotten mad if you're going to push him in the heel version of that, which they are doing. No one's going to boo Roman. Sure, fine, fair enough. But there's issues there purely because of the fact that didn't he come back as a babyface off the whole Vision thing? What happens to the redemption arc? Anyway, point is, before I get too crazy about that. So, and then he steps in front. Seth doesn't attack him like a heel would or should, and then gets Superman punched into oblivion and then speared. And then he gets run out of the ring. So you made Seth look like an idiot and a bitch.
Fair.
Great segment, guys.
I'll give you that. But at the same time, I genuinely don't think if we didn't have this segment, it still would have. I don't think it would have made any difference to me.
They also had about 17,000 vignettes on this past Raw, and that still didn't do anything for the Roman Seth match for me. So
no, and that's the thing is it's literally doing nothing for me. I get you're trying to keep us interested in it, or you're trying to get us invested in it. But those of us who remember have seen it so many times, we just don't care.
No, it's over. We don't. This is exactly what we were saying with Roman and Brock for so many times. We're over it. We were over it the third time. We were over it the fourth time. We were very over it by the fifth. This is like the 8th time or 9th time they've wrestled in these high stakes things.
If you had waited another 3 years and then said, tell you what, little brother, or whatever it is, it's time to go out one way. It's time to go out for a final time. Let's do this. You would have given us 3 or 4 years between. Well, you would have given us 4.5 years because the last time they had it was at WrestleMania last year when you had the triple threat and Seth still won or whatever. But you're running back something that's this rivalry again just after a year. Year and a bit. Don't need it. Wait 3-4 years and then have it happen. I'd probably have more investment in it because you haven't shoved it down my throat again once a year.
No, I agree. See that, and that's what I'm saying. Like again, I feel like we're spending almost as much time in this but purely because of how dumb it was, right? And again, the rivalry is nothing to me. I don't care about Roman. I don't care about Sid. Why are we doing this now? 3 or 4 years, fine, maybe. If they never ever speak to each other in that gap once, I don't even want them interacting in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, make sure that they miss each other.
Yeah, completely.
We'll make sure they're not even involved in the Rumble. Like one of them is, one of them's not.
Sure. Or but no War Games, no Survivor Series, none of that. Like, but they're not. But they didn't. So now they're always on top of each other all the time.
Good example is AEW. They can have as many people as they've got on the roster. And that's how often they should run into each other. They find a way to get people to avoid each other for a phenomenal amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. You know what it's called? It's called putting them in a different feud with somebody for once. Again, like not every feud, and I understand, like the whole like hierarchy of things: lower card, mid card, and then upper card. Except, you know what? And I mean, we spoke about this before. You can have an upper card guy run a little thing with someone in the mid card. Or even the lower card, if it's entertaining enough. The lower card guy's going to lose, but that's how you make it fun and entertaining. If you had a John Cena have a feud with Danhausen for a month, no one would bat an eye because they would make it super fun and entertaining.
Yeah.
Not that Danhausen is in the lower card, but you know what I mean.
No, but no.
But you can do that. You can separate them. You can give the upper card guys other things to do. Just to also flesh out their character or give them a new, face of their character. You know what I mean? But they refuse. No, it's like Seth Rollins still the visionary and OTC still the OTC. Cool.
It's just, I don't know. For me, it's a bit wild. Like I say, it's just, we've seen it so many times. It just shut it down.
I don't care. I genuinely don't care. And I can't even pretend to care at this stage. I mean, this whole SummerSlam card is looking very weak to me, besides maybe 2 matches right now that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Well, 3 actually now with the addition of the women's ladder match, sure, because that'll be dope. That'll be excellent.
Yeah, that will be really good. I'd like to touch on that at some point.
Sure. Okay, well, so we digress. So okay,
But
so just
this
to bring it all the way back, I'm still going to give this because I have to include the final segment as part of the show. I'm giving this a dubs down. Like I did
if we
because of that, it took it
if we're
all the way
doing
to a
that,
dubs down.
if we're doing that, then mine will change to a mid. Like I will give it that.
You have
I'm
to.
probably
It's
a bit
part of the show. Part of the show.
I'm a bit more lenient than you, I think, on this, but it's fine. Like it's good to have those differences. It's
Oh,
fine.
of course.
It's what makes these good, and I'm glad you have your points.
Right. So one of the where would you like to start, Kazi?
Do you know what? I actually would like to start with the first match because I think they did the right thing here. They took the titles off Brie and Paige and they put them on Fatal Influence. However, I would like to say it is 2 months too late.
This got a dub down for me specifically because of that reason.
It's just 2 months too late. I'm glad they won.
I'm not. I don't care about them anymore. I don't care about them anymore. They were cool when they showed up. I hate them because boo. Why now?
I get
not
that.
At SummerSlam, a more crowning achievement.
Fair. I get that. But I still think it was the right move because they had nothing to do with Brie and Paige at all. I think this frees up Paige. You don't have to have Brie anymore. She's technically a vet. Paige you could call a vet, but she's still at an age bracket where she's not considered a vet.
No, she's younger than you and I are.
So you actually open her up to start going and helping the individual mid-card, possibly even world title look, right? I like that. You now give Fatal Influence the belts. So yes, it's 2 months too late, but you give them something that will help elevate the group. Now, the only thing that didn't help was JC Jane losing the qualifier for the women's interim title match, right?
Yeah.
That's where it's a problem for me because you can't have her lose and not progress her and then have Fatal Influence win. That's why I find the irrelevancy of Fatal Influence winning. However, I don't mind it because if you're not going to put JC Jane, I wouldn't mind seeing them actually institute the Freebird rule to allow JC Jane to be part of this because she has teamed with Fallon and Laney before in a way. So if you're not really going to push JC Jane in a singles point, even though she's the leader, at least let them have the Freebird rule.
Sure. So I agree 100% on that. That'd be awesome. I can see that working a bit better. Just to go back, I thought the match itself was a bit cuck, personally. Wasn't the smoothest. It wasn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination. I gave it a mid, actually, as opposed to a cuck. The finish helped that because I also like the fact that the finish was exactly how Brie and Paige had been winning. I like pushing over the other person, give them a bit more leverage, grabbing the tights as well with that. Great heel work. Nothing wrong there. So I think the decision was correct. I think the Freebird rule would be a bigger factor if they have actually more established female tag teams on either roster, which at this stage it feels very thin. So I see the fact that JC didn't qualify for the interim ladder match, women's world championship ladder match, because what they'll do is, and this goes back to Raw. Just a quick side note here. Besides Liv and Io, we basically had zero divas, or not that we can call them divas anymore, but zero women's wrestlers on Raw, essentially. And like Maxine was with the Vision. Right, there was no matches. We didn't get a follow-up from the Lyra and Bailey match and what's going on there. We didn't get a follow-up from Brie and Paige. Unless this is all on like WWE, YouTube, and exclusive stuff. But like, I don't have that much time in the day to watch all of that shit, you know? So at least give me a vignette instead of like, 3 different Seth and Roman ones or 4 Danhausen segments. Give me something there where you see Lyra, like, I don't know, with a busted nut. Anyway, I'm digressing. Point is, I can see her not qualifying for the ladder match specifically because they'll probably try and move, because now with them having a tag match, they can go from Raw to SmackDown. Obviously, with Blake Monroe on SmackDown just attacking people, I think that's her new gimmick. She just attacks people backstage. It doesn't seem to rhyme or reason. It's like on site for everybody, which could work. It doesn't really have a lot of legs now, but we fall in love with Rush for less at this stage.
Yeah, true.
So cool. I'm gonna let it run. I'll see how far it goes. But I can then see, because Sol Ruka wasn't even on Raw, and we haven't really seen her around for a couple of weeks, I'd say.
Yeah,
JC Jane might go over to Raw with with Fatal Influence now, and maybe aim for like a mid card title, like the Intercontinental Championship.
So my only issue with that, why I say they'll for now, you could do it for 6 months, institute the Freebird rule if you want.
Yeah.
They came in as a trio. If you have JC Jane win a singles title, she's kind of confined to that show, which means it feels like you confine Fatal Influence to that show.
That's cool. Yeah. No,
having them have a Freebird rule allows JC Jane to compete with other people on the other shows, as she should do, because she's that good of a talent.
Sure.
Not saying that Laney and Fallon aren't that good either. I thought the way that they sold reminded me of old school Shawn Michaels, and I loved that. The way they were, bouncing and faces going everywhere, and the weird emotions and the flopping bodies and everything. I loved it personally because it reminded me of like that old school Shawn Michaels selling, right? Cool. I thought that was fantastic from them, because Brie and Paige were really giving them nothing. They were quite stiff.
Oh shit. Let's be
but I love that. With JC, then with you implementing a Freebird rule, you give JC the opportunity to then appear on a show going with Fatal Influence rather than flip-flopping her between a show.
It makes all the sense in the world. Yeah.
So for me, that's why I liked the win as well, is because you give that freedom for them to compete on the other shows rather than pulling tag teams in and confining them to one side. You get them to do it. Hopefully they do more with them, because I'd really like to see the Irresistible Forces back. I mean, I'd really like to see, just maybe I don't mind seeing Raquel and Roxanne take on Fatal Influence. I think that could be quite an interesting match, because I don't think we've seen it yet from memory. They've really been confined to SmackDown.
No, for sure. No, and I hear you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think also it gives them a very good opportunity to really heal it up if they so choose. So it'd be like, okay, cool. Well, we have to defend against who's a good babyface tag team in the women's division right now.
Well, I don't even know.
Alexa and Charlexa.
Yeah, Charlexa.
I think that's the only one currently. They can come on SmackDown and be like, cool, you're gonna not face Laney and Jason tonight. You're gonna face the other two, and they can keep like switching it, like be heels, be like, well, no, you thought you were gonna face these two, you're actually gonna face these two.
Well, like in the way that for me, in the way that the New Day did it.
Well, yeah, exactly. But like heal it up, make sure that like speak to Nick Aldis or Adam Pearce before and be like, no, these two are definitely going to be it. And then like at the last minute, like, oh no, my arm, I got a tennis elbow, Charlie horse, shit, I twisted my ankle. Heal it up, you can make
and then have them like you say, oh no, I've overextended my shoulder. And then when they're in the match, if the ref's distracted, have them like hit them with an elbow.
Yeah, exactly.
To show that it's bullshit.
No, exactly. Just heal it up. That's all I'm asking for. If you implement this, cool. I'm down with that. Fair. No, I like it. That's a good shot. I like the winners. I don't like that it was too late. I'm glad Paige and Brie are done, because they were not fun to watch. I mean, Paige's, Brie's Brie.
I feel now you could open Paige to end up being in this ladder match for the interim women's title. Not saying she should win it.
Yeah, but it'd be fun to have her in it. Yeah.
She was so much better as a singles competitor. Yeah, she was good when she was the leader of a strong group. Being tagged with Brie just felt like it's a way to get her back into WWE, and let's see where we go from there.
Now a few matches to get her back into the groove. Sure, I feel you. That's also I can see her qualifying for the women's ladder match. There are little chirps here and there that Nikki might be cleared to compete fairly soon.
Yeah,
maybe this is the time to fully turn Paige 100% babyface and the Bellas full-on heel tag team again. She could be climbing up the ladder. You can hear Nikki Bella's music play, and then run down, pushes the ladder over. You stole my spot at WrestleMania with my sister.
Yeah, fine. That's what we're gonna do. Cool. Good, have a mini rivalry there, whatever it is.
They have to blow it off somewhere. This isn't one of those let's handshake it out for the no.
Give Paige her singles moment now, like her moment.
Yeah, again, she's in her early to mid 30s. She's still got 15 good years if she doesn't hurt herself again.
And if she's back in WWE, it means that medical have cleared her that they
So
wouldn't have
she's
before.
fine.
But
Exactly.
she's fine to do whatever the protocols are now. She was wrestling great in AEW.
Yeah, exactly.
So let her wrestle in WWE.
Yeah, I agree. 100%, dude. 100%. Anyway,
So,
moving swiftly along, as they say.
where would you like to head next?
I know, you please. You run the order. You run the order.
Well, okay, so I think if we're on that same level, maybe just stick with it and go with Lyra Bailey, right?
Yeah, again, this is dub. Good
I had
match.
this as a dub. I had this
It's a
as a
dub.
dub. This was I live
Much better than I expected it to be. I thought it'd be good, but this was good.
And do you know what gave it that actual effect? Was
Blood.
when she busted her open. That was not just like
a
but still, that was a stiff forearm to get hit with.
I think she was aiming for a chest, and then I think it was
Lyra,
miscommunication.
whatever happened.
The way, like as soon as she started gushing, I was like, oh shit, this has escalated.
Because of that, it did feel like it was escalated to a violent fight, like a proper unhinged Lyra.
Yeah.
In this momentum, even Bailey getting what felt like a bit stiff. And although Bailey had more of the offense, I think Lyra looked better.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But I think a lot of people are saying that this is Bailey's like last dance before she. I mean, that's just rumors. It's all rumors.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going anywhere.
We thoroughly enjoyed it. So they could just be moving her to AAA. I don't know. But you do that, you're taking away.
Be a good idea, actually.
You've broken again, turning Lyra heel and making this whole mad dynamic between the two of them. You've taken away what was technically a face tag team, so you've lost another one.
Yeah, I think there's only Charlotte right now.
It's very difficult to fathom it, but again, it was just. All round, I thought it was smooth.
Yeah.
I felt like the ref having to stop to pat her face with the towel and everything gave it that
fight feel.
Yeah, like it actually gave a bit of edge to it that you don't get in these kind of matches. Because when obviously she was pulled onto the outside and you just saw this blood, I was like, oh shit, where is this come? Like, is she cut somewhere badly? And then I thought of I kind of saw her covering her face. I was like, she must have got knocked in her nose.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Credit, they showed that replay several times. Normally, they don't like to do that.
I will say it took way too long for them to show that replay because I was like, I was trying to I rewound a few times. Like, did I miss it? I was trying to find it, and then I was like, oh, whatever. I'm sure I'll see like 1,000 of them on like TikTok after the show, and then like about 30 seconds later they showed it. I'm like, oh, well, at least they showed it. Agreed. And I was like, cool, but like I wanted to see that a minute ago, because I feel like it's taking me a little bit out of it now that they're replaying it. Because I'm like, I don't care how it happened now. I want to see what happens after. But yes,
like again, overall, I don't think it overran its course. I think it fit perfectly.
No, it was great.
Within the right spot. I think people who missed it actually probably feel aggrieved that they missed it because they thought this is the bathroom break match.
Yeah, this is get up beer match for sure.
And it actually was better than I think a lot of people. And I admit I was one of them.
Well, like I said, I thought it'd be a good match because Bailey knows what she's doing. Lyra's a really great wrestler as well. So I thought they have good chemistry. I thought it'd be a good match, but not like that good.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, while I was sitting there, I just happened to still have a beer with me. So I was like, cool, I don't have to get up. And then I was like, oh, I'm not getting up. Oh, shit.
Yeah. But, I mean, leading off to it, if they've given Lyra this crossface chokehold, now
it's Mox's bulldog. That's called what it is. That's the bulldog choke.
Bulldog choke. If they're gonna give it a bulldog choke, I'm all for it because if you're gonna be a heel, you need to have a heel move, or you need to have something that sets you apart. You can't just be doing the same move set as a face and a heel. You have to have a different.
Yeah.
You have to have some different aspects to you.
And like change the night win. It's called her finish is called the night win.
Night win. Yeah.
Have a variation of that called the dark win or something. Just like a bit of a twist on it that looks a little bit more painful. Or I don't know. Yeah. That's like reversed.
Have it changed. Yeah, have it changed slightly. But having that bulldog choke, I think adds.
Yeah, and it was a great way to win.
Crazy element to her.
Look, I will say, I had a bit of. Just because you and I have talked about consistency with the refs so many times of how they call these things. So we didn't obviously see the hand go up. This is a full-on, she's out. Cool. But then, again, consistency-wise, you got it. The ring announcer said, by submission, but you didn't submit. She didn't submit. She passed out by stoppage.
Yeah,
consistency here. I was like, that's incorrect. She didn't tap out. But I get.
And also, Bailey didn't look like she passed out before he called it. I think he called it too early.
I agree.
I think when he said ring the bell, she kind of closed her eyes and passed out.
Yeah, it was like ding ding ding. She was like,
oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was like was that scene in The Dark Knight Rises with Talia al Ghul and how she just. You're like, okay, we didn't have a better take. We didn't have a better take. Right. Yeah, okay, I died.
It's like the heart monitor stops and then the person goes, oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt about it. So I was like, and then obviously Ren announces like by submission. I'm like, no, she didn't submit.
Again, not.
But whatever. Mini tribes.
But then it comes back to it as what you said. Why did we not get Lyra out or Bailey?
Well, sorry, before we get there, obviously we also had the post-match beatdown. The stamina stairs look nasty. Lyra decided, nah, I'm taking Bailey out of commission. Great heel work. Love that. Awesome. Fits in with her deranged sort of whatever her gimmick is now. Stick the lower part of the stairs. Ooh, smashed her down in there.
I think
sold it like an absolute champ. Bailey did. She looked absolutely out.
That's Bailey. That's
Bailey. She knows what she's doing. She's a fan as well, so she knows how to sell it.
We may have harped on, about her being boring before, but she is a worker and she knows what's needed. That's the thing. It's just I don't think they've given her a lot to work with in the last.
Yeah, well, see, now that's why I would like say we've never really called her boring. We've always said that what she's doing is boring, but as like Din Don Hello Bailey was hilarious. Giving Michael Cole shit all the time was great. So she's not boring. We know for a fact she's not boring, but she's being given stuff that makes her seem boring.
Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. No, that's a fair way to put it, actually. But at the same time, I think they did well in small nuances again, with like you say, with Lyra not coming out with her wings, not giving her that little change to her music where it's not.
I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought like when it hit, I was like, "Is this Lyra's new music? She has new too." I was like, "Ooh, this is dope." It kind of slaps.
It's still got the do do do.
Yeah,
but it's more like.
Also, I hate the crowd. They were wooing. They were doing the woo. I'm like, no, she's the heel. Stop that. God.
No, stop that. And at the same time, she should have. It would have helped if when they were going woo, she was like looking at the crowd, going,
going,
sort of saying, no.
She was kind.
I'm glad she's not doing the wing work, and I'm glad that if she's going to do it, she didn't come out with like all her normal makeup and her good. Like she had that hair down, mopey, unkept, haven't slept in 3 days type look.
Mental asylum ass looking
type feel.
I think
they lent into it well. But again, like you say, where's the follow on to it? Why was there nothing on Raw?
Nothing on Raw. Again, if there was stuff, if there was stuff on like the YouTube or the YouTube, how old am I? Jeez, on the WWE's YouTube. That's what I meant. I'm not old.
On the
YouTubes. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not.
No.
I'm not. I've just watched the full show and I'm gonna watch Raw. Put it on Raw. I'll watch it there, They did it with CM Punk and Cody with what happened post-match for them. They re-showed it on Raw. Can we not do it on Raw for the ladies?
I don't know.
I'm not saying give Divas a chance, but
picking and choosing, man.
Picking and choosing, man. So no follow-up. I was like that gave that was a big dump down for me. That there wasn't a follow-up on that specifically. So I understand not doing it with Bree and Paige. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. We got plenty of time for that. But this one kind of needed it considering how long this build has been to this point. And obviously I did feel a little bit more rushed. This is the end of the entire storyline between the two of them. Considering the turn we saw the turn live in London. Yeah. That was 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
they done this time. Done. Like, okay, that was a very fast feud.
Yeah, it sometimes helps to just get it done and end it.
Sure, but if Bailey doesn't leave, then we know she's going to come back and it's going to restart. So
there was a bit more meat to it that you could have made it last a little bit longer. Not saying overindulge us, but there was a bit more meat.
I probably would have pushed it to SummerSlam, because I'm sure they'll put some random ass match. They'll put the Vision on SummerSlam for some reason because it's the Vision. And I'm like, I'd rather if this match was on SummerSlam, I would be like, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, great match. Very good match, at least.
Yeah,
Love the beatdown. Cool. I want to see where it goes next.
like to see where they
Lyra,
take Lyra. I want to see where Lyra's character goes.
Cool.
Like, it needs to go somewhere. She needs to kind of do on Raw what Blake Monroe's doing and just go and attack everyone backstage. She's sick of being the nice person and everyone being, "Hey, Lyra," like just go and attack people.
Oh no, let's not do that with Lyra. I disagree. I think now that she's in her dark mode and we can see how deadly she can be, especially with the new Bulldog choke finisher, go straight off that Intercontinental title against Sol Ruka. Because that was the basis of this entire storyline. So now you got to push her straight to that. And at least it gives Sol Ruka like a good heel to deal with now. You know, that isn't Becky Lynch.
Or Raquel, or Roxanne, or Liv. Or...
I wouldn't call them good heels, but I digress.
Whatever. But I mean, yeah, I suppose it's, like you said, can't really go on to anything else more than that because it's
we can call it there. Honestly, this was dope. This was really good. Follow up correctly, WWE. Do something interesting with it. You've got the opportunity now. Make us boo Lyra.
Yeah. I suppose that's it.
Yeah.
I suppose moving on, then we go to the next bit. The Danhausen JD match, right?
This got it. Dubs down for me. I
was mid with it. Like, I genuinely was not. I had a bit of entertainment to it, but I also was like, it didn't feel like it belonged there. And again, the only reason it belonged there was because of Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, and this is again why it almost got a double dubs down for me because of that specifically. And again, it's got nothing to do with the fact that I'm not a big basketball guy. That's cool. You can do fun stuff like this, except as I was watching it, and like the match itself was fine. JD knows what he's doing. He's a very good wrestler. Obviously, we know Danhausen can wrestle. I expected the match to be a little bit smoother in places, but not that it was like janky or bad or anything. But it just felt like sort of there's this whole thing like with the money and they cursed and they want to do this and it's a no DQ. Like that's elevated slightly and it just never got there because it always felt like they were going to the point where Dom was going to get involved, which he did, and then something was going to happen, and then instead of getting something new, we got the mini houses.
Yeah, but so the thing with it as well is it's a no DQ match, and don't know when that was announced. I don't know if it was announced before.
I think it was announced on the show. I can't remember specifically, but
if it's a no DQ match, right? Why are you giving us Judgment Day members in these no DQ or street fight matches where they do piss all with them? Like,
this is also why I got it dubbed down for me. I'm like, why isn't Dom just attacking him now?
Because he stood on the outside for a while and then they double teamed him. I get how they were trying to heal it, but again, the consistency. If Dom's a good guy or a face on AAA and he's a deep heel on Raw, it's hard if you want us to watch AAA to then tell us to not care about what's going on at AAA. First of all, with that. Second of all, when they were doing it, they were really trying to annoy just the Knicks crowd because any other fan would have been going, yeah, cool, rip the shirts. Like when they ripped Danhausen's Knicks jersey.
Yeah.
The crowd is from New York. We get it. You're getting that live momentum from it. Anywhere else in the US would have been like, cool. Actually, you know what? I'm fine with that. We burn shirts all the time. We don't give a shit. Rip it apart. We actually don't care. You're getting the pop from the 19,000 or whatever it is that's inside or however big the venue was. You're literally getting the pop from whatever's in there for hatred. But everyone forgot about it anyway, immediately.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh shit, that did happen.
But they were quite... So again, there were some interesting tie-ins, right? So on the last Raw, when they had Danhausen introduced the fake cat, okay? And then he brought it back and he threw it in the machine and Karl Anthony Towns comes out. His initials spell cat. So it's like if you paid... I didn't pay that much attention because I just thought it was ridiculous. But if you paid attention, he clones the cat and cat comes out. Now it's spelled K-A-T, not C-A-T. But other than that, I get this. Like, I liked the stupidity of that. But at the same time, I thought to myself, are you going to understand this?
I didn't get it at all. I liked cat shit on Raw. I thought that was dumb. I was like, all right,
So
fine, whatever.
that's the
And then
thing. Like
this
the
dude came out
stupidity
and
of
they
it.
announced his full name, and I'm like, okay. And then eventually, like, it's the K8. I don't know how
Cat.
they say. It was like, oh. And then I went to go take a piss because
Yeah.
I was like, cool. That's how he got another non WWE guy on
Yeah. So
on their
again, a
shirt.
celebrity. But again, Cat. He's from New York. He plays with Jalen Brunson. He's on the New York Knicks. So you're playing into the crowd pop and everything of there, but no one else is going to care, right?
Nah. Well, that's the thing. I didn't care because I was like, cool. Because a tall basketball player. I don't watch basketball. Why not get someone everybody knows? Get Ryan Gosling, and everyone knows Ryan Gosling. You know.
Yeah. So like I say, it was it's where it is. Again, so I probably understand the stupidity and the ridiculousness of a bit more in that sense of when I saw that I was like I clocked straight away and I knew and whatever and I was like, is someone gonna get this? You put it together because of his initials, but some people would have been like, don't understand. Guarantee you a lot of people around the world, half the fan base probably had no fucking idea from
I
around the world.
guarantee it, dude. I 100% guarantee it.
I was like, okay, cool. Unless you actually know what's going on, ridiculous. And then, like you say, you had the mini Housens. I laughed when Corey Graves went, "Is that Ray?" Like,
That was pretty funny.
Okay, I had a gig. I did have a giggle at that because I thought, okay, cool, fair enough.
I mean,
small guy.
That's humorous.
But at the same time, I don't remember. It wasn't like you say. JD's a great worker. Danhausen, we know, can wrestle. Give us more of it. I do like the fact that Danhausen is the comedy wrestler that we all want, but at the same time, let him show his chops to just prove that he's not only comedy based.
No, for sure. I feel you. I feel you on that. I think just to sort of on your point there, right? To add a little vignette. So obviously on Raw, we had like basically four segments with Danhausen in it, right? Basically the big one was, and this is what also I again like sort of
shut down.
No, not shut down, but definitely like stuck with my initial tabs down on the match at Saturday Night's Main Event because he comes out with a big bag of money because again we had a segment like we won our money. I'm like, I don't care. Don't you Oaks get paid like $100,000 a week or like a month? Like this is chump change. What are we doing right now? Right. So again, like this human money thing is fine for Danhausen in the comedy side of stuff. If people are trying to bribe him to curse, stay with it. I'm happy with you doing that. But the fact that this Judgment Day stuff with him and this $100,000 or whatever is still going a month later, I don't care. I'm like, move on, because it's the same thing. It's this is Tom and Jerry right now. Yeah, like they do something slightly different, but it's still cat chasing this mouse, and the mouse getting the better of this cat, and these cats are retarded right now. Again, this is not this on YouTube. It's not montage for children, so don't worry, they won't hear that. Because then he comes out, he's like, okay, cool, I'll give you your money. Comes out, big ass briefcase, gets the crowd right up. Obviously, he's very over. Great. I love Danhausen too. He's like, instead of giving it back to these clowns, how about I give it to all of you? And inevitably, Judgment Day runs in. And then, again, nothing happened. Like, there was a bit of an argy bargy, give us something. Then Love comes down. Like, then there's a brawl. And then Joe Hendry. Okay, cool. No one said his name. No one said Joe Hendry's name.
Again, no one said his name. And two, where was the feud with Logan Paul going? I know he got injured.
Yeah, but he can still be part of the division somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, so keep it relevant. He's still on screen, so let Joe Hendry still have a go at him.
Exactly.
But now you're just inserting Joe Hendry where you feel anywhere that he feels he could be useful.
Which also doesn't do anything for Joe Hendry whatsoever. So I didn't like that. But anyway, so there was a brawl that goes backstage. Then we have another segment with Danhausen and the money and the Judgment Day. Except this led into a quick little thing with Obafemi where JD McDonough grabs the briefcase, which didn't have any monies in it. It was all fake. Oh, what a surprise! As if Danhausen was ever going to give the money back. He's proven for weeks now he's not going to do that. Over the shoulder throw, and he's cursed. So guess who it hits? The one and only Obafemi. Cool. We're going to have a match now between JD and Oba, which fine. Squash his ass.
Yeah.
Cool. Was happy with that. It's Obafemi. More of him, please. More of him.
But also, didn't he squash the Judgment Day like a month ago, so now we're just squashing the Judgment Day again.
Oh yeah. But I mean, if you're not even going to use your Women's World Champion who's in the Judgment Day ever, then squash them. But this is what I'm saying. This is why this got a dub down for me on Saturday Night's Main Event and everything with the Judgment Day. And unfortunately, for Danhausen, for him too, it gets a dub down for me. Because why? Can we not give the Judgment ever since Finn left, you've got nothing for any of them?
Nah.
And
it's true, but
you're struggling, like you have this whole roster of people that Danhausen can interact with. And again, this is what we literally said at the start of this podcast. You could have feuds with the upper card guys and the mid card guys or the lower card guys. You could have Danhausen deal with, I don't know, a bit of the vision. That would be great. I want to see what Danhausen does to piss off Braun Breaker. Cool. That sounds far more interesting than him annoying Dom Mysterio and JD McDonough and a little bit of Liv Morgan.
Consistently, yeah.
And then obviously we got the final segment where obviously JD got his ass beat by Oba. Great.
Yep.
Then we had a match between Dom Mysterio and Joe Hendry. Was it Joe Hendry? Yes. Yep. And then obviously Liv gets involved, and then out comes Danhausen and his Danhausen Carlhausen with Io Sky to further Io Sky and Liv Morgan's feud. Because we can't just have them alone.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, Gazi.
It's just...
This is what. Sorry, that was a very long tangent. I do apologize, everybody.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But I also, like... I'm trying to see the... It's terrible stuff, but I'm also trying to find some good in it, right? Like, I'm really struggling.
Because I don't think there is any. Not right now.
But we've said this forever, is that they really just need to split the Judgment Day up and everyone can go their separate ways and they can do their own thing, right? It's just too much. Liv needs to be... She doesn't care about Roxanne and Raquel anymore. She's all about me, and her and Dom. JD's got no fucking effect either. So It doesn't matter. Just let the two of them be what they are and let the others go off and do their thing. Opening that up, have a split, let Roxanne and Raquel split with split with Liv and then split within. You open up, you could turn Roxanne into a massive face and Raquel into a massive heel, or vice versa. And you then have more people to compete for the individual titles because you didn't piss all with them.
Or you could actually turn Roxanne or Raquel face as a tag team because Liv doesn't care about them and they realize, oh, finally, actually, she's the reason. So split completely. So you give Liv a bit more of an arc there where now she is alone and now she doesn't have minions. And you have a face tag team for the women's division because you are sorely lacking in that sense. But again, this is just a spitball in a couple of ideas. And it's better than what WWE is doing with it right now because they don't know what to do with it. Dom and Liv should be Eddie Guerrero and China right now. That's what they should be. We've all been calling it for the past year and a half. Pull the trigger now. Stop waiting to do it like you did with Fatal Influence or with Over or anyone else who could be super red hot if you did it when it needs to be done.
If an idea comes up in creative, don't think, oh, that'll be good 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line. Pull the trigger on it within 3 weeks.
Yeah, look, and I'm not saying do that every single time. Sometimes you do need stuff to build. But AEW had like a lot of things going on, and you have to compare the two. There was a time limit on Bryan Danielson's career. What's one match that we all want to see? Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay, or Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega. So instead of putting him in a year and a half long feud that like Will's done his career, it's like, you know what you're going to do on Dynamite? You're going to get Kenny Omega, Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. You know how much views you'll get just from that because, yes, that's what you want to see. Sometimes pulling the trigger right away is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Pulling the trigger on JCJ would have been the right thing to do when they first came in with that heat.
Influence immediately, getting them the tag titles. Doesn't matter if Brie and Paige had the titles for 2 weeks.
That's fine.
Putting the tag titles on Laney and Fallon, and then
establish them. There's heat. There you go. Let them lose. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. He did with Sami Zayn.
No one would have lost any kind of...
No, we had a whole episode about that, basically. It would have elevated everybody in that sense. You would have had a fully established heel team that yes, they're rookies, but they're established because they've already won the tag titles. And JC Jane seems like a real threat, especially with how good she is on the mic. And
Yeah,
you build up babyface sympathy for Brie and Paige to win it back. Like it's not difficult. Yeah, you got the pop when Paige won it, cool. But what did you do with it after? You let everything like just fizzle away because you did nothing.
It was all going.
You could have built that anyway. That's them too. But this is what I'm saying. Judgment Day, Danhausen stuff with JD on Saturday Night's Main Event and the follow up and Raw. I talked myself into it. This gets the double dubs down for me. Nah, this sucked.
It's fine. I still think it was like mid because I appreciated the stupidity of it.
Again, I like dumb wrestling. We all know this, but also can we give not the mini Hausens every single time? Surely he can build like a trap, or something.
Someone builds a trap for them or whatever it is, or.
Because I know they're also building up this whole who's under the sheath then. Obviously, it wasn't Baron Corbin. And then everyone was like, oh, it might be Big Cass. I'm like, no, he's coming back with Enzo, so it's not him.
Yeah, no, but he's coming back as an individual. I like these vignettes because I feel it's a way for them to say that, one, because he's gone and wrestled at other promotions.
It's better.
He's bigger. He's more, I think he actually looks fitter. He looks more shredded. But at the same time, he's learned from mistakes and he's redeemed himself. And I'm fine, all for a redemption thing. Trust me, I'm all for it. If they have redeemed themselves and they can prove that they have, cool. I don't see why you can't bring them back because there was nothing ever proven for whatever the allegations were either. I don't think anyone ever.
We're talking about what, Big Cass now?
Yeah, because there was the whole thing where he had with Carmella or something. Because remember he was dating Carmella. And then something happened between them, and that's one of the reasons why he got fired.
Well, it was more the case of him being like an unreliable person because of his drinking habits and his addictions.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's it. He was awesome in AEW. He was awesome in TNA.
Yeah,
like the vignettes are cool. I like it. But what I'm saying is he's not under the top because Enzo's coming back as well.
No,
So I mean, you could have alluded to like. Maybe if Danhausen had wheeled the mini Hausen had wheeled out the thing before Cat came out, and he's like, no, it's not now. Put him away. Use the cat, and then they put the cats in the box. Cool. Then it makes little build up that expansion. As of right now, I think who's under the top is going to be Bailey. Brent Hoback is Frank and Bailey.
It's going to be someone stupid, ridiculous, or it's going to be something. So
no, it's not. You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be another fucking basketball player. This one's from Minnesota. That's what they're alluding to with all this bullshit.
Anthony Edwards.
You know.
But so
it's gonna be Brock Lesnar's dad, Mr. Lesnar.
Right. My only other thing with Cass, right? Just to touch on this before we go back, I do want to see what he looks like in WWE. I don't want him to get because I want to see East River Crossing so bad.
They won't change his moveset up. That'll all be the same.
I want to see it so bad. I mean, we saw EOD with Baron Corbin, so that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, but they never do. They never be like, always like, don't use your AEW stuff. No. This is WWE. Go back to East River Crossing. But I mean, him as Big Bull in AEW, like he was using the big boot a lot, like Test used to. I mean, use that more. That's a great finisher. If you do it properly, and he does. Little things like that would be dope.
But so the thing I have with it is because we know Big Cass is coming back, either they're trying to keep the fact that Enzo's coming back as well, which also he left because of specific allegations. However, what the problem is people who know when you've associated one person with another because of the way that things went down, if he just comes back by himself and Enzo doesn't come back, it's going to be most people will perceive it as a letdown. I don't think you have to, and I don't think you can or should. However,
but you're right. People will see it like that.
People will go, letdown.
I wanted that because also remember when Big Cass and Enzo split up, Big Cass got new music. So if they don't revert back to Big Cass and Enzo's like Italian like then you're strong, I'm sloppy, whatever the lyrics are. That will be because people want to pop for that because it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
if he comes back with alone, also with his own original music from WWE, I don't think a lot of people are going to recognize it right away. Very much like not Powerhouse Hobbs.
Then he must do what Baron Corbin did. Don't come out to any music. Don't attack someone in the middle of a match because that's oversaturated now. Because we see it with either returns or breakthroughs.
But also, I do think based on the vignettes, he'll come back as a face, so he'll probably run out to help somebody.
Possibly, but don't do that. If you're gonna have him run out to help someone, fine, whatever. But if you're just gonna bring him back to bring him back, and you're gonna keep this whole thing with Enzo do it, have him come out to no music, right? Irrespective of, because then it keeps us probably a bit more entertained until either A, they drop his new music, or B, he comes out after a couple of weeks and he's like, oh shit, I almost forgot I made a call. And so you don't have to make a call.
No,
but you can go, oh, I forgot.
But here's also the thing. Now that we know Baron's not under the top, and Big Cass clearly isn't because of the vignettes, and he's going to come back as a face and the whole redemption thing, I can't see Enzo being under the top.
Because he's a bit of a wily character and a bit wild. And,
so it'll be a case of they'll come out with the original music for Enzo and Cat. Again, this is all circumstantial. If Enzo's come back with him, it's very speculative. Yeah. But if he comes out and he has the music, the original music, probably it just doesn't feel the same without a certain someone, and then we cut to backstage segments with Danhausen pulling this lever.
So I can get that in the sense of it could be like, oh, I had to, I've made a call to an old friend, because again, if they were in AEW at the same time, which they were, Danhausen and Big Bill or Big Cass, however you want to call it.
Isn't Cass also from New York?
Yeah.
There you go. Danhausen's from New York, Cass from New York.
But what I'm saying is
not even a call. I would like to see him just show up and midway through Danhausen's segment on SummerSlam and be like, "It's good to see you," and it's like Master Blaster and Beyond Thunderdome. Puts him on his shoulders and then do that. It's like, "Oh, I've got a present for you, Mr. Big Cassius."
Anything like that.
Something cool.
You know what I mean?
But
allude to the fact that they knew each other before. Don't play it off, because everyone knows a lot of people coming over.
Again, that
everyone knows CM Punk and Danhausen are good friends.
That part of kayfabe is dead. We know these Orcs interact because we see their Twitter feeds, we see their Twitter beefs, we see their Twitter feuds, we see them chatting, we have their Instagrams, we see them on everywhere else. It's fine. It's fine. God damn. Can we just acknowledge the fact that they talk? Because they work together, it's not difficult, And talk to my accountant lady,
It's also because you don't want to acknowledge another company doesn't mean that they realize you're there. Because you've had people on AEW mention wrestlers that are currently in WWE.
Exactly. Not exactly, but anyway.
So, whatever.
I'm like that, but again, overall for the Danhausen stuff, I was saying this was a long way to get here.
Yeah, fair enough.
I gave it all the dubs down. Maybe not a double dubs down if they bring Cass and stuff back. But especially with the follow up on Raw, with how many segments was dedicated to just that stupid Judgment Day feud and Danhausen. I mean, I'm bored with that. I mean, give Danhausen something to do and break up the Judgment Day for real. It's done.
Yeah, I mean, it's no point. So it comes to probably not the last piece, because I think there's still space to discuss the whole thing between the Bloodline and Solo Keys.
Yeah. You can talk about that.
But the whole thing now with why Saturday Night's main event, why I said that the ending pissed me off, right?
So the main events of Saturday Night's main events.
Yeah. So I think you started off really well. The whole thing with the backstage interview with Sammy. It's great.
Yeah, cool.
There'll be a reason why I'm actually interjecting this in, not forgetting it's there. He uses he's.
Well, do you want to give the people listening a bit of context if they haven't seen it?
Well, so again, you after the Fatal Influence match, you had Kathy Kelly interviewing Sami Zayn backstage, but he had the shirt Justice for Sammy, cool. Think it's a great shirt to wear. He started using words it felt very much like a courtroom battle type thing, like he was trying to gain the votes of people, because
which he has been doing a little bit in the past, but
he's using deep terms like it was egregious, I'm a victim, everyone else gets handed an opportunity. I had to smash through the glass ceiling, all those sorts.
For 9 days. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a 9-day run, and then you just gave that to Punk.
Yeah, and like Cody comes back and just asks for one, and that's how it is. Yeah, I mean, I like the segment itself. Yeah.
It led into it, and it led to.
Also, we had Gunther come in and be like, just saying to him, like, stay out of my way. Cool.
So this is why also I needed to allude it, because he's going, stay out of my way. You ended up getting to the match itself,
which was excellent. This was a great match.
I really enjoyed it because it didn't stop.
Oh yeah, this was fast-paced.
I'm all for a technical match, but this match didn't need to be technical, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was fast-paced. I think it lasted like quick, actually. I think it was only like 14 minutes or something. Like, it was very, very quick.
Which is weird because it didn't feel that like very short to me. I was like, they've been going for a while, and then like, it was about 15 minutes. I'm like, I thought they wrestled for like 25. It was like a really good long match. It's like, no, it's just really fast-paced, which you don't see a lot of in WWE.
No. And I think the whole thing with Sammy doing the whole using to try and get people on his side, I don't know if it worked or if it's because it's a different crowd in New York. But I didn't feel Sammy getting a ton of boos. I didn't hear and I didn't feel it.
No, because everyone's pissed. The fact that
I think there was about a 60-70 swing of actual people cheering for Sammy, and you could hear some boos in the background. Like, I'm not saying it was 50-50. I actually think he had a few more supporters than really let on. People are going to cheer Punk. People are going to cheer Cody because
it's Punk and Cody.
It's Punk and Cody. People are going to boo Gunther because it's Gunther. But Sammy is still.
Well, Sammy, after he won it, he started getting that more cheers than boos. And then after he lost it, everyone's like, well, why did we do this? Sammy was fine.
Yeah.
We didn't want it now. We wanted it a couple of years ago. But we like the fact that Punk and Cody isn't involved, and then you inserted them into it anyway.
Yeah.
Which is why it was more 70 cheers and 30 boos.
That's for me, that's the way it felt, right? So
I agree. I'm with that.
But, and then you also then had, before it's them interviewing Punk and Cody, and like, oh, you're going to be on each other. I've known this guy. He's my friend. We'll be on the same page. We're trying to eradicate these two type of thing.
Can they coexist? Can they coexist, as Cody put it, like the traditional, two wrestlers who are going to fight
this was like a mega powers type thing.
Yeah, very much. It was very old school wrestling promo in the back. I didn't mind it at all. I was just like, it was pretty funny that Cody said the actual line that we always say. It's like, can they coexist? I thought that was pretty funny.
But then you get to the match, and Punk's not having it. Punk's immediate at Sammy. And again, this is where it just became literally like...
I like how it started. Cody and Gunther had beef. Straight. Punk and Sammy had beef, and they were just like, fisticuffs. Let's go.
At each other. And it happened. Like, it literally... They were going in and out and in and out, and every time someone got in, or every time someone was either going in or out of the ring, or they got tagged in, there was still they left small little kicks or small little punches on each other. Like, you felt more of it because of that. Like, it wasn't just tagging in and getting someone else. As they were tagging and going, and they were doing their double team moves or whatever it is, it was literal like little digs.
Yeah, for sure. Which is great. It's what you need.
And it went hot. And you could feel, because it went in hot and it stayed that way, you felt a lot of the tension between everyone.
Yeah. Plus, it also elevated the outcome of the match a bit, because going in, I think 99% of us were like, well, we know Cody and Sammy and Gunther are going to lose. But because of the way the match started and how a lot of the moves went, and a couple of like near falls, I wouldn't say false finishes, first near falls, there was a couple of submissions throughout the match. It'd be like, oh, there might be a tap out here, or like, anything like that. A couple of like really late saves. I was like, so it helped. It helped a lot.
So the one thing as well, when Gunther was being... So what I really found was Cody hasn't pulled out... So we had Punk do the Anaconda Vice on Sammy. And Cody did the figure 4 on Gunther, right?
Yes.
So Cody hasn't done the figure 4
for a minute. Yeah, for a while.
Is that more of him becoming the heel? I'm not saying it was just because Punk was doing the Vice that he did the figure 4.
No. I didn't see it that way. I must say, I didn't see it that way at all.
Because it's a move he doesn't do. It's a move he doesn't do, but he had to do something. So why I had to mention the interview in the first place Cody helped. I mean, Gunther helped Sammy by sort of raking CM Punk's eyes, so he let go of the hold.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Get him, get him, get him," and he got Sammy to attack Cody to break the hold or whatever. But then why have Gunther say the whole thing of just stay out of my way? Like, you shouldn't be asking for help. I get why they need the help.
No, I see. I hear where you're coming from, but I don't think it was more like that. I think it was Gunther very much healing it up in like that's cowardly, snivelly way, right? So he only saved Sammy to prevent the match from stopping, but that's why he raked the eyes instead of just kicking Punk. Very heel, like it. And then when Gunther got put in the hole, and he was saying like, "Help me," it wasn't a case of "Help, you're my partner." It was a case of "I'm the bad guy, help." That's how I sort of interpreted it. So you still have that good face then. Of course, Sammy was gonna help, and also you got to relate it back to that. He's like, "Well, if you just help me," so that's why I'm gonna help him. As opposed to Gunther wasn't so much asking for help as like sort of crying for help because he's a heel. That's how I got it. No,
I can see it that way. I could see it that
your way or so there could be a third way.
And again, I know they tags and there's a lot on stake with it, but the same time, it's like, that I felt more of the why does he need help? If he has told him to stay out of his way, if Sammy was a real person, like Sammy had listened to him, Sammy would have gone, no, fucking do it yourself. Then you could have lent into the heel side of Sammy on that as well.
But I think after the whole, I think this Justice Sammy thing is gonna switch him fully face again. I'm never gonna boo Sammy unless he's like really dastardly, but he's just never gonna get to that point where he's like evil Kevin Owens level of bad. Again, I mean, it could have been a lot of things. Again, Sammy had to pull the save up because if Gunther does tap, then they don't get their shots in the fatal 4-way. So that could have played a factor into it as well. Okay. So it was less about like getting in Gunther's way and more of a case of, well, now you're getting in mine.
But then again, this is why the ending pissed me off. First of all, shout out, Sammy, did you see Sammy pull out like a Rainmaker?
Yeah, that was great. I love the Rainmaker. That was
excellent. Okay, cool. Is he going to add this to his arsenal now as well? Because it's quite heavy hitting, and I think he's done it a few times now. They've never called. Again, it can be called a ripcord clothesline or whatever it is. Because remember, Seth used to do like the ripcord knee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think Austin Theory on Monday Night Raw did a ripcord elbow or whatever it is. So again, have a different name. It doesn't have to be ripcord something, but again, it was a Rainmaker. Like that's what I see it as.
I mean, it is Sammy. I would honestly put that down to he's just adding something to his repertoire because he's a great wrestler.
It was Gunther who did this.
Yeah, Gunther. But like again, like because he's a big dude. Because also the clothesline and the chops are like his signatures. Now this is just more an impactful one. So I think again, great wrestler. So I think he's just adding it to his repertoire.
So it then gets to a point where I would like to talk about again consistency, as we like to on this, right? With refereeing.
Yeah, I can't. Sure.
There's the middle piece. There's like the middle piece, 3/4 in, where finishes galore, as you like to have that spot. Every man's down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ref bump.
Ref bump because Sammy pushes Punk into the ref. Ref goes and he's out.
He out. He got pushed by an absolute avalanche.
So first of all, if he hasn't seen what's happened, ref should be going, "Oh, Punk attacked me, DQ." Right? But ref's down for
an egregious amount of time. The whole rest of the match. So it was crazy. He was out forever. So I'm saying, like, he was accidentally bumped. He wasn't hit with a baseball bat. It's gone.
Yeah, and then obviously it became a whole shebang.
Yeah, that's a good word.
In the middle. It was a big scramble. Punk and Cody going off on Gunther.
Yeah, so Sammy gets thrown out the ring on the one side. Then Cody, I think it's no.
No, so Cody are going off. Sammy gets thrown out. Cody and Punk are going off for Gunther. Then obviously Cody inadvertently hits Punk with the disaster kick because Gunther moves out the way. So Punk's trying to hold him.
Yeah, so Punk's out the ring. Cool. It's down to the two of them.
And then there's the power bomb. He uses the belt. There's the power bomb, and he's calling for a new ref. Ref slides in. First of all, if you're gonna slide in, don't slide in to a point where you need to reset yourself.
Yeah, slide in at an angle that'll get you to where you need to.
So
Robinson did it at WrestleMania down at 95,000 yard ramp. That is the greatest run and slide of all time
ever. So ref's now slid to the left, so he can't see.
So
slide to the right because then you can see. Don't have to slide
it's
and
very
turn.
simple. Yeah,
You can see Cody, right?
Yeah.
But he slides and then has to reset himself. And this is where it all pissed me off. The whole Nick Aldis thing. I like Nick Aldis. I like Magnus. Actually, I lie. I like Magnus, right?
we know.
Which
Yes,
we're coming to. But this Nick Aldis thing with Gunther
makes
is
zero
ridiculous,
sense.
right? So again, if we're going consistency, he's pulled the ref out. Again, another ref down for an egregious amount of time. But anyone in their right mind would be going, disqualification. Doesn't matter if he's a general manager, disqualification.
Well, he's
cool.
not general manager. He's not. That's another thing. He's just an
It's
outsider.
a fatal four-way.
Yeah.
It's a fatal four-way.
Well, so yeah,
right?
there are no DQs in a fatal four. Oh no, this is a tag match. This is a standard tag match.
But there's a fate. That's it. DQ. Sammy and Gunther win. That's twice. They should have had that Punk and Cody should have been DQ'd, right? So this, by all accounts, should be a fatal four-way at SummerSlam, in my eyes, right? With consistency here.
Well, so my issue with the consistency is how they're telling the story of Nick Aldis. So again, and we spoke about this on previous episodes multiple times at this stage because it is so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
He gets into a fight with Gunther. Cool. So instead of punishing Gunther for fighting with the GM, you punish Nick Aldis, so he's out. Okay, cool. Then Nick Aldis is allowed to come back, not as an interim GM, after a week and a half. Cool. After Adam Pearce sets up a different match on SmackDown or on Raw for the SmackDown Championship. So I don't understand why he had that power to do it on Raw. Okay, doesn't make sense. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
We move on. That's obviously sets up Sammy losing, right? Then we have, instead of more punishment for Gunther, because again, he gets in everybody's face about it and he pushes and shoves Nick Aldis is there again. And they get into another big altercation. He doesn't get punished again. He gets an opportunity to wrestle in a match that could potentially get him in a fatal four-way at SummerSlam. So you're rewarding this behavior for Gunther, and you keep making Nick Aldis take a lot of the brunt here. So that, in terms of consistency, if I'm Sami Zayn, I just attack the GM now. If I'm Rey Mysterio, I just attack the GM now because that'll get me a shot somewhere down the line. That doesn't make sense. So, okay, cool. So then we do get to Saturday Night's main event, and we have Nick Aldis hiding under the ring for a long time. That show's vendetta as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Right? Because he must have been there from the start of the show, I assume. It was not exactly a short amount of time. It's like 2 hours. 3.5 if you sat through the entire thing with Roman Reigns. But I digress. So yeah, then he, obviously, like you just explained to everybody, he gets involved, which would clearly be any sort of DQ. Again, and he started calling a ref fight. So now, obviously, he wants this match to go in the favor of Cody and Punk to screw over Gunther, right? Mm-hmm. But if the ref is watching the match to know to be called down, then you saw what happened. So you should either DQ them because of that, or like bring it all the way back and DQ Gunther because he used the belt in the first place, or at least eject Nick Aldis or something. Again, this is wrestling, so a lot of times the suspension of disbelief has to go all the way through the roof, and I'm fine with that. But this is like so inconsistent with how they're telling everything. It's incredibly stupid.
Which is why it's annoying.
Which is why
this pissed me off.
Yeah,
because like you said, there is literally no consistency of any kind with this specific storyline.
Still.
So I don't understand. And then obviously he hits Gunther with the belt.
Yeah. Balls for the ref. Obviously, Cody gets the pin. Cool.
GTS for Cody to pin, whatever it is.
Obviously Punk came in, GTS's Gunther, and then drags Cody over, puts him on top. Cool.
And then they get the win. So it ends up being Cody versus Punk at SummerSlam. You could have just made it Cody versus Punk at SummerSlam. You'd have to put us through this schlock of shit.
Exactly. It's so dumb. So I mean, the only thing I could see here is, this is, you alluded to it earlier on within the match, how they were always like sort of little bumps here and there between the teammates and stuff like that, which I like. A lot of people are pointing out, well, actually, no one's really pointing it out, at least not that I've seen. After Cody got the 1, 2, 3, I mean, he was dead, but you know what I mean. He's the one who got the pin. Before that, I don't know if you picked it up. after the bell went, din, 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 Sammy was halfway through the ring to slide in to try and break it up, and Punk kicked him in the head.
In the head.
No,
I did see it. I did see that.
Right. And I'm like, why is no one clipping that? All the clips of this, of him like accidentally hit it. I'm like, this is heel Punk. This is why Cody's not turning heel. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The figure four deadlock is not a heel thing for Cody. It's just a submission that he does sometimes. It pulls out of the bag if he needs to. This is heel Punk, because after that, that's when we got the little slap in the face with the title belts, and then the post match thing that they showed on their WWE YouTube and their channels and whatnot, and then on Raw as well. But then, it was an accident. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. Like, are they friends? Are they not friends? That then all over again. But I just want to point out, kicking Sammy in the head, I want justice for Sammy. I think that's where they're going to go with this. In terms of, obviously, you're going to have Gunther versus Nick Aldis. It won't be Magnus. They don't own the rights to that. I know you love Magnus. It'll be Nick Aldis or someone championing Nick Aldis if he's not allowed to wrestle, which would suck. But it should be that. And then I think they insert, and we said this a couple of weeks ago, I think they somehow insert Sammy into the SummerSlam match in a triple threat match. Somehow. At least I want that to happen.
I would like that to happen if they find a way to it, because if this is the way it's going to be, right? Technically, Sammy hasn't had his rematch. And everyone's just calling for a title shot at this point. So why can't he go, listen, I want to be inserted and make it a triple threat?
Attack Nick Aldis. That gets you a shot.
Fair. So, again, we know the Gunther Nick Aldis / I would like Magnus in brackets match to happen. I don't mind it, actually. I quite think it'll be a good opponent for Gunther to go up against. I liked Magnus as a wrestler. I thought he was great. If he's going to wrestle as Nick Aldis, fine. But I do actually like him as a wrestler. I think this whole GM thing is really holding him back.
Yeah, look, I must say, I never watched NWA or that part of TNA when he was champ in the NWA.
He was great. I really enjoyed it.
So I have no horse in this race. But from what you've told me, like, he was excellent. So I only know him as a GM.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was a contractual thing of, okay, we want you in, be a GM, do this, and then they might get to a point where, okay, cool, you've met these obligations, you can be a wrestler, and we want you can wrestle now, or we'd like.
Was he like injured or something? Is that maybe why?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I genuinely am not certain, but I don't know if it was like a clause of, okay, if you get to a point where the docs and the refs are saying you're fine, but it's possible that it was, and they're going, okay, you can wrestle now. We will then insert you in a way to wrestle again, and we'll find someone else to be a GM or something of the sort. Don't care.
I know exactly what it should be. I know exactly. Take a guess. Take a huge guess.
Kurt Angle.
No, he was terrible. No, Mickey James, his wife.
Oh yeah. Oh, fair enough. Why not?
That'd be awesome. Bring Mickey James back. God damn, that'd be awesome. If you want to come back, they gave her a trash bag the last time she's there. She's not coming back.
But so I don't mind that. But again, the Sammy thing hasn't got his rematch. I wouldn't mind if he made it a triple threat. I think Sammy would again have the momentum. I think more people would pull for Sammy to win that again. But then you have Sammy winning in a triple threat. Again.
Very much like Bryan Danielson. Well, Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
Because he won in Saudi, won the triple threat, beat Cody with the roll-up. It would only be justice because he tried the roll-up again in the middle of the match. And this is Sammy's new thing. I'm not opposed to it. Don't get me wrong.
That's how you win.
So if that's the way it's going to be, that's cool. I don't mind. I don't see it happening.
No,
I would like it to happen.
Yeah, this is wishful thinking. This isn't even fantasy booking. This is just wishful thinking right now.
But this feels to me like what they're doing is... So I've just started watching, just for reference, we started watching Unreal again. And in the first 2 episodes, when Seth got injured and they went, okay, well, what do we do? Because obviously they got in video for the backstage production or the creative. What do we do? Punk will be the guy who can hold us on, which is why Punk got the title. You didn't have to do that with Sammy. You don't have to transition him to Punk and then have Punk carry the title to the New Year or to WrestleMania. Sammy can carry it.
Yeah, he's proven he can.
So this is the point is where I don't mind if you hot potato it and then have Sammy win if he gets inserted and he's champion again, but then it lasts a bit longer because they were also saying you have to react to the crowd.
Sure.
Right? They've been saying it for a while. I think the crowd, as much as they like CM Punk, there's a big fan base going, what the fuck, 9 days? And Sammy is not letting it go. So I think it's going to play into it at some point.
It has to. It has to.
Otherwise, it's just him bitching and moaning, and no one likes a bitching and moaning character.
No, that's what got him booed in the first place. Right?
So,
is him completely always consistently whining about he doesn't get a shot, he doesn't get this, he doesn't get that. And it's like, okay, well, we get it. You're sad sack Sammy. But at work, it got, again, like apparently all you have to do is either whine a lot or hit a GM. And then eventually you'll get a title shot.
So, yeah. And then, like I said, that whole thing pissed me off. So,
but I didn't like the finish. Again, I like the match because at one stage I was like, oh, maybe they are going to like listen to the crowd, as apparently they say on Unreal, and give us the Fatal 4-Way, because I think that would just be a much cooler match to see at SummerSlam, you know? But obviously, as soon as all this came out, I'm like, oh no, that's not happening. Cool. Again, I probably would have given it a double dubs up if Gunther had pulled out the win there at that specific moment. It gets a dub for me because it was a bit of a letdown. Again, if we see Nick Aldis and Gunther wrestle, cool. But then you got to give me someone with Sammy in the main events at SummerSlam. You
can't just have this schlock going with it and then throw Sammy into like some random match with someone.
Yeah, exactly.
He's involved in the storyline. Keep him in the storyline.
Yeah, exactly. Don't make him a special guest referee though. God, don't do that again. No. don't read. There's some water we don't have to retread.
And if not, fine. But then find a way to bring it back by having him win something like Money in the Bank.
That would be sick. I would love to see Sammy with the briefcase.
Because you know what I mean? Awesome. Like, if you're not going to go with this, and you're going to be like, and you're just going to have Sammy's be this person of like 9 days, you'll see what happens, and he doesn't get inserted. Let him win Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
When Punk, and it's got to be Punk he cashes in on.
Yeah, it has to be.
When Punk goes through a ringer of a match, we saw it with Seth, but he doesn't have to do that. He can literally just come out and go, I'm cashing in and just take the title from Punk.
100%.
Be like, you stole it from me. I'm taking it from you now.
And you can build the story in, like, again, because Sammy, if this is the whole Justice for Sammy arc that he's going to get, he's still not getting his justice by being put in a 6-man ladder match to earn a shot.
Yeah.
Build that into it. You can actually have a really good storyline leading into Money in the Bank, as opposed to just, we're going to have another tournament to see who's going to be. And you know what? Just like every year, it's going to be 3 sprinty guys, 2 big dudes who can throw them around, and then probably the winner.
Yeah.
Have someone with a bit of like stakes in here that actually has to, because then again, Sammy has to qualify for a match just to get into the match. And then he has to fight 5 of the dudes in the match just to get a shot at the title for that match. That's a great line. I love that idea. Give him the briefcase.
So if you again, that's my way of just doing it, because if you're going to keep him relevant and he's never going to get this opportunity again, that's a way for him, like you say.
Not to mention
distraction, kick and claw, and there's no justice for him because he's had to do it the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention
he's not getting handed out things.
As much as I love LA Knight, I'm not going to watch another year of the Money in the Bank where it's like, well, it should be his turn. I don't want him in that match at all.
No, doesn't need to be in that anyway. But coming on to that, obviously, this whole thing with the Bloodline and LA and Royce and Solo is also. I don't mind it. I'm actually quite invested in it. I just think they're shoving it down our throats at this point as well.
Yeah, I think the problem is they have sort of run out of stuff to say about it, which is why they're shoving it down our throats and reiterating stuff. Like on Raw, I didn't like the whole Solo coming out to chat to Seth and then LA coming out, LA Knight coming out to call Solo on it. Although I did like LA Knight's promo, especially halfway through when they started chanting OTC and he went completely off script about it.
Yeah, I could. What did he say? I wrote it. He says, "Oh yeah, no, he's conned. It's fine. You can chant his name because he's conned you."
Yeah, and then he was like, "This is exactly what happened. You booed him for years, and now you cheered him. It took him that long." I was like, he brought it like full circle. I was like, that was off the cuff. I was like, that is sick. Well done, LA Knight. So that was dope. But again, like you're saying, it's like they're shoving it down our throats. This whole like Solo and Seth thing, he didn't have to do that. We didn't need that at all.
No, because if that's going to pay off to nothing, that was an unnecessary interaction, unless it was for LA Knight to obviously call Solo out on it, but then Solo then still came and helped him because Jimmy came out and tried to help Jacob, right? So if it's just that little interaction that I'm supposed to care about, I don't care about it. I noticed it, but I don't care about it.
Here's the thing: you could have done that in the exact same thing to get that outcome without having Solo chat upset. Because all you would have to do is have Seth come out to cut another promo on Roman, and have Jacob come out to face him, and then Solo attacks Jacob. That leads you into the full on breakdown of the Usos coming out, and then Royce Keys. And LA Knight. So you didn't actually have to have Solo anywhere near Seth Rollins in the stage.
No, but so to what you said earlier, it would have worked better, and I think he would have got more into Rollins' head about needing someone if he had said exactly what you said. And Roman made you look like a bitch on Saturday night's main event.
Yes.
So pulling back to what you said, like it would have probably hit Seth harder, and he would have.
Then fine, that makes sense. Okay, cool, 100%. Cool, I like that, but they didn't do that, unfortunately.
No, but I mean, it wasn't a bad match between LA and Jacob, but it was more about the way that I think for me, it wasn't about the match and about who was the winner. It was about how the loyalty is there for the bloodline, and then between Keys, Solo, and Knight. Like, and I say that in a weird way, but I think it's about to show that okay, they're not taking this lightly. They're actually there to support each other, and they do have each other's back, because they're going to let LA Knight get his ass kicked, but they realize he's an integral part of taking down.
See, now here's the thing. I did like that aspect of it. What I don't like is the fact that this is like the second or third week in a row where LA Knight has come out, had a really good promo saying how much better he is than the guys in the bloodline, and like it should be his spot. And then it's the second or third time in a row that him and his teammates are laying face down.
My only thing with that is hopefully that leads to them winning. Right?
Well, they should win. I think it's a given that they should win, 100%. If you've done all the stuff with LA Knight, he has to win, because you can't bury him again. Because that will be again. You're taking this dude who's still getting the biggest chance in the arena week after week. If you're watching again, like if you want to bring up Unreal, I'm gonna keep bringing it up because I'm a douchebag like that. No, and they keep saying you got to listen to the crowd, except you don't do that, WWE. You're lying. Listen to the crowd. If LA Knight loses here, because I don't really care about Solo. I'm glad they decided to go the truth and keep him away from the bloodline. He's better without them.
Yeah.
Right. And it gives Royce Keys something like interesting to do finally. Cool. I love that. If they lose, then you if I was LA Knight, I would leave. I would leave WWE after that. Because what's the point?
Go back to TNA.
Yeah, or go to see if you can go to AEW, go to Japan, go anywhere else.
Yeah, just go to somewhere else.
Yeah. Go to Triple A. You'll be mega champion forever because he's the mega star.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, actually, it's also
the mega star with the mega championship.
There you go. Boots of a champion, man.
But I mean, like I say,
that's it. Also, just to go back real quick. This is the third time in a row where we've seen LA Knight's team face down. Normally, that does mean that the faces will go over in the end, but I don't know.
It's tough to see that. It's tough to see it, and I also don't want it being extended into another involvement of the bloodline. I know it's months away, but I don't want to have it as another involvement of the bloodline being in Survivor Series if they're going to do War Games. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it probably will. It probably
will
be.
Stop War Games. Stop War Games and go back to the traditional elimination Survivor Series tag matches.
Well, you can't sell that. That's the problem. War Games has a cooler name and a cooler aesthetic.
It's just, I don't know. It's, you know what? Because they don't have the ability to come up with a concept, and probably don't have the rights to do something like a Death's Door.
They'll come up with. They'll come up with Tribal Combat War Games. So it's the exact same match with a cage. That's all it is. Like, remember when they did that Hell in a Cell with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose, and it's like, no, this is the lunatic asylum, and it's like, no, it's just a cage with weapons on it.
Yeah.
And like we've seen so many cage matches over the years. You can bring weapons in. No one's ever stopped people doing that. So it's the dumbest shit of all time.
The only thing a War Games does is allows you to have the amount of people that you have in it, because it's 2 rings in a steel cage. If you had a standard steel cage with 10 people, and we were saying again, how are they going to do how are they going to do Team DC?
That was it. That was awesome.
Because it gave them it was a steel cage, Hell in a Cell vibe where they had the space around. Now, obviously, they can't do Hell in a Cell because it's a WWE product.
Yes.
So, but coming up with Death Door, unbelievable.
Yeah.
How do we work around it without getting sued or getting in a problem? Let's make it round, like an elimination chamber, but let's make it a cage. And let's have a roof. Let's make it let's make it actually just surround the ring rather than being elevated.
Yes, the guys can get weapons if they need to.
Everyone can do what they want.
Perfect. They came up with something new and creative, and it looked awesome, and the match was incredible. But they'll just have war games.
Which, yeah. And again, I don't want another feud of a bloodline versus so-and-so, because I don't want to see Jimmy, Jay, Jacob, Roman, and whomever they recruit against Solo, LA, Keys, Seth, and whomever they recruit.
Also, I mean, I'm pretty sure like the original like set of war games in NXT used to only have like 4 members on each side. I'm just saying all.
Yeah.
Right, which was better because then the matches don't go on for as long because ever since they moved war games to main roster WWE with 5 people each, those matches go on forever.
Then fine, do the 4 and 4, but I don't want it to head that way. But they have to start thinking now, how are we going to set up rivalries to have a 4 and 4? Are we going to have a Team Cody versus a Team Punk?
No, they'll bloodline again, and then what they'll do is like the bloodline will recruit Sammy if he doesn't want the title back because he's still loose, for whatever reasons, and then maybe Kevin Owens come back if he's helpful and be on the Faces team. I don't know. Okay. I don't want either of that to happen. I don't want the bloodline on TV anymore in general.
I know. I'm with you, but either way.
I
don't think there's much to go. The only other things would be Penta, Gable. I still do think Gable wins this in Minneapolis because
that's hometown. Of course,
there's rumors that they haven't announced it, but this will be Brock's one, and he has spoken about wanting to retire in his hometown, and everyone has speculated this again, and this is over Brock 3. It is the Hell in the Cell. The video package that Paul Heyman put was unbelievable.
That was really good.
That was an unbelievable video. And again, using great terms, the King of the Brocktagon or the Beast of the Brocktagon, Obafemi is overrated. I thought was a great line again. This guy can sell shirts like a motherfucker.
I like how you like his puns, but my puns are shit.
No, your puns are terrible. But again,
your puns are terrible.
No, I don't do puns. That's why mine are
terrible. That's why you don't do them. I do puns because they're amazing. You just don't like them because you can't come up with them. That's what it is.
No, it's not. Because I'd be mad at Paul Heyman for that. But that is brilliant, right? The man can sell shirts.
I thought overrated was stupid. I'll throw it out there.
I thought it was absolutely quality, right? But Beast of the Brocktagon will sell you shirts. I think
the Brocktagon for sure, 100%.
But either way, it's someone who's never lost to someone who's never fought in a Hell in a Cell. As far as I'm aware, I don't think Boba Fett even fought in one in NXT. I don't know if they use it in NXT.
I think they only have the cage in NXT.
So this is a guy who's never fought in a Hell in a Cell, going up against someone who's never lost in Hell in a Cell.
No, look, it's lined up. It's lined up for Lesnar to lose, Shab. And if you have Lesnar lose and Chad will go over, you send the crowd home happy either way because you have one dude from Minnesota winning a belt he should have won a year ago or longer even, and Brock Lesnar going out like an absolute cowboy into the sunset. That's dope.
Yeah. So, but yeah, unless you wanted to, we could talk about it when it comes to it, and obviously do the pre-show of SummerSlam. But I do have the list of the matches anyway, and pretty much we've covered all of them, apart from, and we touched on it, but was the women's 5-man ladder match, five superstar ladder match. Now I think it becomes 6, and they insert someone like a returning star, like possibly Stephanie, or find a way to insert Paige into this or something, because we also have a week and a half until SummerSlam.
Yeah, I gotta fill it up. Which is also again why they didn't have any qualifying matches for the women on Raw. That was a bit strange.
They got 3 people, I think.
So far, I think so. Yeah,
I think it's 3, and I can't. Is it Cargill, Tiffy, and
probably Charlotte, right? Can't remember.
I can't remember the third one. If I'm honest with you, I missed it. But
see if I can get it up real quick while we're busy.
No worries. This is what I'm saying. Like, either it's going to become a 6, and they'll insert someone random, well, not random, but like a returning star. But if Tiffy's in it, I then see that you probably could, and I know I'm going back on my word here, but you probably could have JC Jane win the US title from Tiffy if she's going to end up probably winning the interim women's title.
I mean, that does go against what you said earlier, and like if she
It
does
does,
win,
but I
then
prefer the free ball. I prefer the
I do
free
hear
ball.
you.
But
As of right now,
it's
it's only Tiff and Jade.
okay. So we're gonna and we didn't, like you say, we didn't have another women's qualifier match on Raw. So now on SmackDown and Raw, and then what? SmackDown again. So you're gonna have someone like this is the last entry, and then on the day, oh no, it's now 6 women, and they bring Stephanie in. If they do, she's gonna win.
Oh yeah, well she has to. Yeah,
It's a way
well
for
then
you to
that
keep
means
her away
that
from
does
Liv.
mean that Liv is gonna retain against Io.
Well, yeah, fair. And it does mean that you take Stephanie away from the Liv feud, which I don't think is resolved.
No, well if Stephanie does come back and wins it.
Mm.
No, you're
It's a
right.
very,
Never
like,
mind.
it's a
Yeah,
very odd.
I don't know
It's
if
a very
I don't
odd.
know. I don't know if she comes back. I mean, I can see them make it. It's weird that they would have 5 only. It will be 6. It's always 6 in the ladder match. They've always done that. I can see Paige kind
randomly
of qualified
7.
for it now. Lyra will probably be in it at this stage. Lash has to be in it because she's Lash Legend.
Yeah, I need Lash.
And then
But
again,
where
like
do
I said, this is what WWE does with ladder matches. You have 3 springy people, right? And then you have 2 powerhouses, and then you have the person who's eventually going to win it. The 2 powerhouses are Jay Cargill and Lash Legend, so they're in.
Yeah, and again, I understand that obviously she's still probably in this honeymoon phase after Trick, but Trick's on screen. Does she chosen not to do it?
No, I just don't think they have anything to do right now for Irresistible Forces.
Is there gonna be some sneaky going on? Like not sneaky, but is there some going on where she's probably could be pregnant, like the others are?
Maybe, but
I'd love to see a bit of Lash. If she's pregnant, I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying if this is another she's pregnant, then great for her. But if not, find something to do with her on screen because Lash Legend is again a talent who's being absolutely wasted.
Well, even so, even if that is the case, and she's out for an injury or pregnancy, or she just doesn't, or she wants to take some time off, all the better for it. You go for it. That you do you. But then give Nia something to do. Because Nia's been killing it lately. Put her in the ladder match.
Yeah, let her be one of the powers.
Yeah, there you go. 100%. Anyway. The only other thing I can think of is Tala Tonga finally lost the singles match to Finn Balor in a nothing match. It was great. It was terrible. Who cares? That's the only thing I remember from SmackDown.
Oh, well, that's what it is.
Beyond what we've chatted about.
But either way, I think that pretty much covers whatever.
Most of it. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff we've missed, but at this stage.
But we didn't start off, and we probably should have. We did our greatest wrestling theme of all time.
Greatest singles wrestling theme song of all time. Check it out on the YouTube channel.
We won't spoil anything for you.
No, of course not. No,
listen to it. Check it out.
Yeah, we
had our guest.
Sorry, I was just gonna say it's on our YouTube channel. It's also on our Spotify page. Link to it. Check out our Instagram is the actual playlist itself, so you can listen to it when you're in the gym or you're taking a bath or whatever you want to do. Check it out. But yes, guys, please carry on.
I was going to say, and then we had obviously a special guest on, in one of our good friends, in
Mr. Connolly. Yes, thank you. Shout out to Mr. Connolly for joining us. It was great. He'll be on probably for the tag team, the greatest tag team wrestling team of all time. And we'll see if we can get him back for a few more. It was great having him on the show.
Oh, it was good fun, man. Definitely good fun having him on. But again, hopefully, I think the next one we do with this might be closer to SummerSlam.
Yeah, so we are on the road to SummerSlam right now. There's a couple of shows. I'm obviously not where I'm usually at, so I'll only be available for our next one by the weekend. We'll see if we can maybe squeeze one in there, give you a recap of what's happening on all things AEW as well. Otherwise, we will catch you in the next one, everybody. And thank you again for listening, subscribing, sharing. If you are, we appreciate it. Chat. Gothy?
No, appreciate everyone. Again, as you've just mentioned, no need to harp on about it. I think it's time to let the good people go.
All right. Well, good people, you heard it from the OTG himself. Never forget to stay too sweet.